Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And tonight I'm here, it's Tuesday night, so Tuesday nights at 6:30 I always come on with a sketch challenge. And so tonight I'm here with a sketch challenge for you. I hope you like this one. I'm going to be using and I'll show it to you, it's the Stampin' Up! SeaScape bundle. You know, I don't know. This is one of those I love this one. Haven't used it yet. So this is the first time I've actually used this bundle. So I'm kind of excited. Not sure how it's going to go, but I have some ideas for my cards. So I thought I would jump on and actually show you that on this and use it for the sketch challenge. All right. If you're joining me through YouTube, welcome. And if it's the first time you found me, definitely welcome. And if it's not, you've come back, welcome back. I always appreciate it if you're watching me through YouTube or if you've joined me through my Facebook group or my Facebook page. I'd love to hear where you're from. Leave me a comment. Let me know. I'd like to know where everybody's from. All right. Hey, Lynette, I'm glad you're here. Let's see. If you are coming in through YouTube, take the time to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd love for you to subscribe. That way you'll get notified when I'm doing upcoming videos. All right, I'm going to pop over to my desktop and we'll get started. All right, so here's tonight's sketch. I did put a link in the underneath the video wherever you're coming in from so that you can go out and grab this sketch if you want to play along because it is a little hard to see. So this is a 5.5 by 8.5. You could do either 5.5 by 8.5 as your card base or 4.25 by 11. Either way works. Layer number 1, which is the yellow layer, is 4 inches by 5.25. Layer number 2, which is the green layer, is 2.5 by 4.75. Layer number 3 is this. It's actually gray layer. Just because it's gray doesn't mean you have to use the same color as your card base. So the colors don't really mean anything. But it is 1.75 by 4. And then layer 4 is this little piece here, which is 1/2 inch by 1.75. All right. So as I said, you'll be able to grab the sketch using the link that's below my video. Okay, so here's what I'm using. As I said, I haven't used this. I love this. I love anything that's sea or fish. And so I bought this and yeah, I'm not sure why I haven't used it, but here we go tonight, be the first time. So there's great stamps on this. I'm going to use this little thank you. And then what I really love are the sea life dies. So there is this great, I guess it's kind of goldfish. I don't know if it's koi. Anyway, goldfish, I'm going to say. Then the seahorse, which is what I'm going to use. Some coral, and then these 2 little fish. Just really cute. I just love these dies. Okay, so now let me bring in my supplies. I have got a piece of Pool Party. So this is 5.5 by 8.5. So I am going to score this at 4.25. And now I'm going to take and fold. Now when I fold a card base, I always fold into the mountain. So this is the side I scored on. It's got the little valley, the little indent. This side's got the raised, and so I'm folding it into that raised side or into the mountain. And I'm just going to use my bone folder just to give it a really good burnish. Now, this is my second layer. So this is on my picture, this is the yellow layer. So this is 4 inches by 5.25. Now I've gone ahead, and I'm not sure you can see this. And here it is. I've gone ahead and embossed this. There we go. You can see the dots. This is it's a mini embossing folder. I believe it's called Checks and Dots. And so I'm using the dot. It's 2 different embossing folders. It's narrower than your card base or your cardstock is. So I actually put it in once and then I moved it over and put it in again. Now this middle bit where it's just a little bit off, you're not going to see because my layer number 2 is going to cover that up mostly. So it's kind of strategic that I put the seam there. Hey, Deborah, welcome. My goodness, it is early-ish for you. Actually, maybe it's morning, definitely morning for you in Australia. Welcome. Gosh, I'm so glad you've joined. Okay, so this is kind of how I'm going to layer. So I've got Pool Party as my card base, and then this first layer that's embossed. This is soft sea foam, which is layer number 2, 2.5 by 4 3/4. Then I've got another piece of Pool Party that is 1 3/4 by 4. I'm going to do some stamping on this. And then my layer number 4 is this piece. I'm gonna put my sentiment on this piece. And then I've gone ahead and cut out the seahorse. I just thought he would go so well. And I've done him in, I don't know if it's a him. I'm going to assume it's a him in Balmy Blue. Okay, let's start doing some stamping. I'm going to do some sponging. I'm going to do some stamping. So first of all, let's see, what did I grab? I grabbed Soft Sea Foam, Balmy Blue, and Pool Party. So I'm going to do some stamping with Soft Sea Foam. Oh, yeah, not morning, 12:30 for you. Yeah. I'm often on calls in my day job with colleagues from Australia. Sometimes I'm not too bad at figuring out time zones. I've realized I haven't got any blocks over here. So I'm just going to grab some blocks. There we go. All right, I'm just going to stamp this great, I guess it's coral or some kind of plant that would grow. So put some coral. And then I'm going to put some little fish. So I'm doing tone on tone with this. Let's make sure I get my fish going the right way. Yep. You probably could go either way, actually. Maybe that way. A little bit of a scene going on, and then maybe some bubbles. Oh, those are cool bubbles. Okay, so I've got my scene going on there. So this is going to go on like this. Now, I want to do some sponging, and I'm going to do some sponging using Balmy Blue on my seahorse. And I've got one of these great blending brushes that I should really take and wash one day. These are amazing if you haven't tried them. They are the finest of bristles, just so lovely. And they do actually clean up very nicely. I am just a little lazy in not getting it washed. But I'm just going to try and just do some sponging. Just make him a little bit, not all over him, but just make him, give it some different color. And I think I'm going to go in and see if I can get pick up some of the green as well. Just he feels like he needs to be kind of have some dimension to him. Now you may not be able to see that very well, but it is actually, can you see that? That would be cool. You could use this as a mask. What a cool way, and just do some sponging. New ideas have come my way. All right, so there we go. I've got my seahorse. All right, and then on here, let's see what I should do. This. Not sure what this is, but it's little, maybe it's some kind of plant. Sea life. All right, I'm going to do this in Pool Party. I'm doing a lot of tone on tone here. just to give it some, it's kind of just little dots. Cool. And we're just going to take this and sponge some of the edges. And I realized I didn't grab any embellishments. I always need embellishments. You can't have a card without embellishments. So I will do that once I get, let's layer some of my card pieces together. Okay, let's put this down. Now I'm going to layer this one down with adhesive, as the liquid adhesive as well. I'm going to have it flat because I'm going to pop up the next layers on top of it. So I don't want it too much. So we'll just put that even like that. Bring this down a little bit. I don't know in my sketch how far down it was. I had more showing in my sketch, but because I've got my my plant here, I'm just going to bring this down and kind of cover that up. Now I'm going to use dimensionals for this. And I'm almost out of dimensionals over here. I'll have to restock my supplies. So there's a couple. So we will. When you've got a long strip like this, it's actually quite nice to be able to cut and use some long strips. So if you don't have any dimensional so that you can cut around the edge, you can also use the adhesive, no, what are they called? Adhesive foam strips to create use for dimensionals. I know you're using things for shaker cards, but they also work really, really well as to pop stuff up. Okay. So we will pop up our seahorse using some mini dimensionals. Now I've got some black mini dimensionals here. And I'm going to just put them, these are the mini ones, so I'm going to put them where it's wide enough for them to be hidden. This one I think I'm going to have to cut a little bit. So actually, rather than that, I'm going to cut just a strip from the edge of my dimensionals and just cut little pieces off of it. Oh, thanks, Deborah. I'm glad. Yes. If you're not I know Deborah's joining me from YouTube, but for those of you who are joining me through Facebook, through my Facebook page or group, don't forget to share your cards. Deborah, you're more than welcome to join, and I think I did put the link to my Facebook group underneath the video. So I love it when people share their cards and show me what they're doing with the sketches, and every month I do draw couple of prizes, a couple of names from anybody who shared their projects over the course of the month. And I'll send you something in the mail. So that includes you, Deborah, if your name was drawn. Can't send product, but I can certainly send you some cards. All right, so there's the seahorse. I think I'm going to use a couple of glue dots, or at least one glue dot under his tail, just because it's sticking up. Let's put it right there. Squish it down a little bit. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, now I want to stamp, and I'm going to stamp, let's see. I'm going to stamp a thank you. The question is, what color shall I stamp this thank you in. Let's see. I'm thinking balmy blue. I kind of lost the balmy blue color after I sponged it, so let's try. Okay, so we're just going to stamp the thank you on here. Hopefully we get it straight. Not too bad. What happens when you get lazy and you don't put the label on? Sometimes it's hard to see. All right, so I never know which way to put that. I think I'll do it that way. Like that. Okay, and we'll use dimensionals on this as well. So there's lots of ways you can use the sketch. You can replace where I have used embossed or just plain cardstock. You could replace that with designer series paper. Any of these pieces could be replaced with designer series paper, whereas I've kind of created my own background. Now, this needs some embellishment. So I'm going to see if I can find, I have an idea. Let's see if I can find, there they are. Oh, that's good. These are the adhesive back sequence, and there are some really pretty ones in Pool Party that would just go perfectly. So let's put some of these on. I always try and put odd numbers, but this feels like it needs more than my normal 3. It's 5. Maybe even one more or 2 more. There we go. Just kind of feels like he needs some like bubbles. All right, so I also have, see that in the package, I grabbed a piece of basic white cardstock. So this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And of course I've got some smudges on it, so we will turn it over. And I'm going to just use this plant, and I'm just going to put it in the corner just to give something on the inside of the card. Okay, I'm not going to put any more. I'm not going to put another sentiment on this. I'll leave room for writing a note. Okay, I guess I could close that before I get my fingers in it. Okay. Well, you know, sometimes you have an idea in your head about what a card can look like, and sometimes it works out, and yeah, sometimes it doesn't. But today I'm quite happy with this. All right, so here's my card. I'll bring this back in. I had a lady say, could you always put your card beside the sketch so we can see? And yes, absolutely I can. So that was the sketch. I stayed pretty true to the sketch tonight. Sometimes I go off script and go a little rogue, but tonight I stayed pretty close to it. I really like the seahorse, and sponging it just really adds a bit of a dimension to it. All right, so that's my sketch. Let me flip back over. Thanks. Okay, so what else? Let's see. Thursday night, I have a mystery challenge for everyone. So if you are part of my Facebook group, join me for a mystery challenge. The clue goes live on the Facebook group about 9 a.m. Pacific, and then I'll be joining you about at 6:30 Pacific for the mystery. If you're not part of the Facebook group, just go to the link that's underneath the video and request to join. And I'd love for you to participate in my mystery challenge. Saturday, I will be back at 11 a.m. Pacific. And that will be for a project or a card or something that I will show, a technique perhaps. And then Sunday at noon Pacific, again, I will be back live with another project for you. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for joining me. And again, if you aren't a subscriber on my YouTube channel, please take the time to subscribe. I'd love to have you be notified when I do upcoming videos. Thanks everybody for joining. Happy stamping. Bye.